everyone. Welcome to day 5, September 23rd, 2022 of my 100-day health challenge. And today I'm trying something a little bit different. So I'm going to kind of try going forward, experimenting with something different in a specific area of health every day. So I kind of decided to call today Foodie Friday. And so I am going to share a recipe I did today because I actually went out and went grocery shopping and I cleared out my pantry on Wednesday. But anyways, I'll get to that in a second. Also, I intend to do my daily check-in, let you know how things are going, and then focus a little bit more specifically to an area, just so that as I'm working on different things and adding in habits or trying different things one at a time, I can also share that with you. So on that note, I weighed myself in this morning and I have lost 1.6 pounds. So yay, back down again. And then also along with that, I haven't started doing my body measurements yet, but I will be doing that because I think it's very important to have those and to know how you're progressing in that area as well. But I can say that I also have successfully had over a half gallon of water today. And so that is progress for me. It really is. And so I'm very excited about that. And it's not overwhelming. It's getting easier as I go. I'm not trying to overdo it, but I want to be having a good intake of water. I also have successfully taken my supplements today. And so along with that, I also finally went grocery shopping today. On Wednesday was trash day. And so I went through and now I did this last year, but it needs to be done every now and then. But I went through and I organized my fridge a little bit. So I threw out all the old like leftovers that I didn't have a lot, but there were some where I was like, oh, I forgot to eat that before I went on my trip. And so I threw those out. And then I really went through and actually took out, and for the most part I'd done well. I didn't have a ton of stuff in there, but I did throw away any kinds of overly sweet things, or at least get rid of any stuff that was not going to be advantageous to my health. And so to me, that's just things that are tempting. So I don't like to waste food, but to be honest, I would rather get rid of the rest of what I have or give it away. So some things I take, with me to school and put in the teacher's lounge if I think people will actually want it. But for the most part, if it's something I've already opened and, it's something that I don't need to be eating, like something super sugary or something that's overly, carb heavy or whatever it may be, that for me personally, because I'm trying to limit my carb intake and I'm trying to up my protein intake. That doesn't mean I'm fully eliminating them, but I am trying to balance those out and have one actually a little bit more than the other, but those do kind of balance each other out. And so that's what I did on Wednesday. And then as a result of that, I went shopping today at the grocery store. And I actually didn't get a full amount of groceries because I'm hoping to go to the farmer's market. Usually Saturday is my farmer's market day, and I'll go and I'll get whatever's in season and fresh. And that's what I'll pair with whatever protein I get. And then, but unfortunately right now, our Saturday farmer's market, well, there's one downtown, but it's super, super busy and it's really hard to find parking. And then the other one that usually I went to, they're not open right now until the winter's farmer's market. So, so anyways, all that to say, there's one on Sunday, but usually what I try to do is Saturday is my big kind of cleaning day and my catch-up day and cooking day, because I try to cook my week meals on Saturday and then have them for the whole week. So today what I'm doing instead is cooking some on Friday, and then I plan to go to the farmer's market, see if there's anything else I need on Sunday, and then fix some things maybe if I need it. I'm also debating on that because I also have a baby shower to go to on Sunday. So we'll see how that goes. But I at least got groceries today. So for me, I stocked up on veggies. Like I have these little peppers I like, and I have cucumbers, and I have little tomatoes that I can snack on if I need to, or just add to a meal to give it a little something extra. And then I also got, let me think. My brain has been slowly unwinding as the day goes on. So let's see, what else did I get? Well, I got some chicken to fix, which is actually what I'm fixing tonight. It's already in the crock pot, which I love my crock pot, by the way. And then I also got things like some extra raw cashews and some extra, because I already have some to finish, but I got some more cashews and some more pistachios. They're just plain unsalted roasted. And then I also got some fruit. I got some blueberries and some raspberries that looked really good to put in my shakes, because I like to do breakfast shakes sometimes. And so I'll actually probably do a video about that sometime too, or maybe in one of my videos I'll share that. But then for tonight, I also got onion and garlic to put in some pasta. It's actually, I believe it's either green pea or split pea pasta. I wanted to try something different that's not as carb heavy and is more vegetable. So it still gives me that pasta feel, but is not as heavy. And then I also got some extra garlic for tomorrow. And then let's see, what else did I get? I actually already had some meat in the freezer that I do want to use, so I want to thaw it tonight and use it. So I need to remember to put that in the fridge so it can thaw. I don't really like doing any other method I don't like to put it in the microwave or anything like that. And there's some ways they tell you not to do it anyway. So I like to just put it in the refrigerator overnight and let it thaw. So for dinner, my dish is an Italian pasta. And I decided to call it Italian because of the oil blend I used. Sometimes, herbs may not be in season, or when I oftentimes get my best ones when I go to the farmer's market. And since that's not till Sunday, I am going to use this oil blend instead. So I want to kind of show you what I have here. I got 2 pounds of chicken, which is usually about 2 to 3 chicken breasts. In this case, it's 2 really large ones. And then I got the pasta, as you can see in the back, it's green pea pasta. And then I also got a kind of small, medium onion, and it's just a sweet onion. And then I got 2 things of garlic. I think they're florets, isn't that right? Florets. And so I'm gonna use all of that. And now I really, really like garlic, but if you don't like garlic that much, you don't have to get that much. Or if you don't wanna use fresh, I'm not chopping this, I'm just using the cloves whole. But if you did, usually I think they say that it's like about a teaspoon of chopped is the equivalent of 1 clove. You certainly do not have to put that much in there, but I really like garlic, so I need to count all these cloves. I'll put the number in the video because I don't actually know what it is off the top of my head. Well, anyways, then I have these tomatoes. There's about a quart of just small sweet tomatoes. And then I have 5 tablespoons of 5% plain Greek yogurt. Then I have a half teaspoon of salt. Now in this case, I'm using Himalayan pink salt, but you can use whatever you want. And then I'm using an 1/8 to a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. I'm gonna be straight up honest right now. I couldn't find my pepper, so I ended up using the little small packets from the little utensil packets they give you for takeout. And so I don't know how, it's probably good enough. So, but 3 of those made this itty bitty bit, and it was supposed to be a 4th, but I don't actually know that it was. I think it might have been an 1/8. But anyways, that's the pepper. And then for the main seasoning, I have this, I really like it. It's a cuisine blend from doTERRA. It's the Italian cuisine blend. And here's a list of ingredients in it, oils in it. And it's really, really good. And I accidentally put in a little too much for most people probably, but I like it. It's actually probably not too bad since it's for an entire pot. But just so you know, you don't have to put that much in there. And then I also did 4 cups of chicken broth, and this is organic chicken broth that is unsalted, so no salt. And I just decided there was really no complete reason behind that except for trying to kind of reduce the sodium in it. But again, all these things I try to find simple ingredients that anybody can use. And also, if you know me, I love to experiment and I don't like to measure things. In this case, I'm trying to measure things so that people can follow along, like my family and friends. And so anyways, what I did is I put my crock pot, since I got home later, I put my crock pot on high, and I'm just gonna cook it for 4 hours instead of 6 to 8 on low. So you could also do 6 to 8 on low. I'm doing 4 on high. I put the 4 cups of chicken broth in there. And then I season the chicken with just salt and pepper. I'm not doing anything else, but just salt and pepper. And then I'm putting those directly into the chicken broth. Then as those are cooking, I'm gonna chop up my onion. And so that's what I did. I chopped up my onion, which probably made anywhere from a half to a full cup, probably more like a full cup. I actually forgot to measure that one, but it is one just small to medium onion, so that's easy to remember too. By the way, I was gonna show you a video of me chopping the onion because I was so proud of myself for the technique I usually use, and then it was an absolute disaster, and I was over here crying, and I mean, onion versus me, I lost that one big time, and so I definitely did not put that in here. So instead you just kind of see the finished product. And so this is just a rough chop, again, because it totally fell apart and blinded me with tears. So that's not going in here. But then I just added that to the crock pot. And then again, with the cloves, I had 2 of these florets, and I just literally peeled the cloves and dumped them in there. And again, if you would much rather have less garlic, go for it. If you would like to chop it, go for it. I just thought this would be kind of nice to have the full soft cloves. I really like that when you kind of just bite into it and it's just soft, but it has that sweet garlicky flavor. Oh, I just love it. But anyways, then what I did is, instead of adding the oil straight to the pot, what I did is I mixed it with the yogurt so that it was kind of a base. So it's just a little base sauce of Italian seasoning and yogurt. And then I dumped that in there and mixed it. And then literally that is what is kind of cooking currently. But then what I will do is, I've got it on timer. In the last half hour, all right, so about 3.5 hours in with a half hour left, I'm going to add the tomatoes and then let them cook. And then the pasta I have says it only takes 6 to 8 minutes. So I'm probably gonna put it in the last like 10 minutes and just see how it does for that 10 minutes. And then if it needs a little bit more, I will. If not, that's also, I put more chicken broth in it to kind of try to keep it from getting too dry. Also, crock pot pasta doesn't necessarily taste the same as stovetop. It's still good, but if you want the full taste, and then just do that instead of mix it in at the very end. Again, I've not tried this recipe. This is just my experimentation, but I felt like it had a lot of good flavor, some pasta carbs to make it feel kind of nice and special, but not be as heavy as, say, like a wheat pasta or a flour-based pasta. And then along with that, the chicken, which is kind of my main protein in here, but also then a little bit of veggies with the tomatoes, which also adds to that sort of Italian feel. And so anyways, I'm gonna see how this tastes, but I'm excited. I have a feeling that by the time I get to the end, the chicken's gonna be ready to shred. So I'll just shred that kind of towards the end and then mix it in with the pasta. And if it needs any thickening, I'll add a little bit more yogurt, and then I'll tell you about it later. But that's basically the recipe. So I'm gonna probably hold off on finishing editing this and putting a final picture. Let's see if I have, let's see. I'll try to put a picture right here. So hopefully there's actually a picture here by the time I'm done editing. And so anyways, that is my dinner tonight. And I think it's gonna be really good, rich protein, not too heavy on the carbs. So my goal right now is to have no more than 30 grams of carbs in a meal, and then exceeding 30 grams of protein. So kind of right now what I'm trying to do is, and I'm not overly measuring this because I don't want to stress myself out in feeling like I have to count the calories. I mean, if that helps you, go for it. For me, I find that if I sit there tallying it up and trying to figure it out, it's just gonna bother me. So I'm just kind of using my base knowledge of what I know is healthier. And this is obviously healthier than ordering a pizza. So that's kind of my goal in measuring this, is that yes, maybe this is not the most ideal way of doing it, but you know what, it's all right. And so I'm going for 30. So no more than 30 grams of carbs and no less than 30 grams of protein. And that is ultimately my goal in every meal. So every meal right now, that's what I'm going for. And so, and of course, I'm assuming because this is 2 large chicken breasts, I should be able to get 4 meals out of this easily, because usually it's, you know, like a smaller portion, and that's usually about 2 per chicken breast if it's really big. It may even be over. But I'm also, listen, I'm also, if I'm extra hungry, because where I'm still learning to balance out my meal and my diet up to this point, and I don't mean diet in like a fad diet or restricting myself. I'm just saying my level of nutrition hasn't been the best so far. So it's also careful to not push it to the point where I'm actually so hungry that then I just kind of have that moment where I just can't stand it anymore. My body's like, no, you gotta eat. And then, you end up eating too much to replace it, or you end up breaking your rules and it makes you feel bad. Or it stresses you out. If you don't feel bad, you probably just stress out. So instead, what I'm trying to do is just be generally aware of how I feel. And I wanna take my time eating. I'm gonna try to stick with that kind of 4 portions of chicken in this dish. But if I am still hungry, after I sit and let it settle, I'm not gonna restrain myself so much to where I'm actually making myself more stressed out and actually making it worse. So what I'll do in that case is I do have some little mini cucumbers I bought, and I have some extra tomatoes, and I have the nuts, and if I need to supplement my dish, I will. I do have some salad. I'm hoping to save it for tomorrow's lunch, but I could also add that because greens are gonna be fine. Lots of veggies is good. So if I need to add more, I will. I'm not gonna restrict myself to the point where I'm making myself feel worse. But I am trying to make better choices in this. So that's kind of my goal. So anyways, that's sort of my Foodie Friday. By the way, I look a mess right now. I came home and decided I just need to work. I had all this energy, and so I did laundry and I did dishes and I did some cleaning, and then I was cooking. And tomorrow, again, I have lots to do where when I went on my trip, there was a lot of stuff left undone. And then when I came back, I was too tired to do it and too busy. And so even though it's been a week, hey, a lot can happen in a week. So I am going to really be focusing tomorrow on cleaning and organizing. So maybe that's even what I'll call it, is something like, I don't know, I'll come up with a fun name. So today's Foodie Friday, and maybe tomorrow will be something about, I don't know, cleaning or catching up or something. And so, and maybe I'll share some of that, what I'm doing to kind of help promote that too. And I have noticed, by the way, that I just started this Meta Power system on Monday, but man, I am telling you what, I don't know, I can't say for sure how much is just me making okay, let's put it this way. I know a lot of it is me making healthier choices too, but I have to say, I have felt so much more energy and sustained energy, and just this lack of cravings. And again, a lot of that is because of the water intake I'm increasing. But I also, one of the most recent changes I can look at is that's the most recent change I made, because I was taking the other supplements before. The Meta Power system is what's entirely new as of Monday. Along with this, I don't know if it's coincidence or not, but I am usually a person who can kind of stop drinking pop whenever I want, soda pop, but I also sometimes just don't want to. And so all the way up to before my trip, I was drinking pop, and probably way more than I should have been. And mainly Dr. Pepper, and then sometimes Mountain Dew. But what I noticed was, obviously on my trip, I didn't have the opportunity as much because it was expensive to buy pop. And also I didn't really want it so much, but I did have some while I was there, just, less than I usually do. But I don't know if it's coincidence or not, and I need to do some more research on it. And so I'm not saying this for sure, but right now what I'm noticing is that not only am I more energetic, I'm getting more done, I have this sustained energy, and my sleep's been improving slowly. And some of that's also, I'm trying to keep myself on track there, but also I am noticing a huge change. Okay, my mind just blanked there, hold on. Oh man, well, pop, that's what we were on. You guys, I thought about editing this out, and I might still, but right now I'm just like, this is kind of real life, so Um, but yes, talking about the pop, I hope you're following along with this. I promise not all of these will be like this, or at least I hope they'll not all be like this. But with the pop, I have not had any since I've been home. And I had some on, what was it, Friday or Saturday? But since then, and granted, I didn't start really the Meta Power till Monday, but usually by this point, I feel like not that I necessarily need to, but that I really want something. I really want it. And I have not missed it. I always make an excuse and say it's because of the carbonation. And yes, I do like carbonated drinks, but then I also drink, carbonated water. And so it's like, it's not just that usually, but right now I have totally not been wanting it at all. And in fact, sometimes I reach first for other stuff. And so again, it's just interesting, something there. But anyways, don't want to take all your time right now, but this is Foodie Friday, and that was my check-in today, and also sharing my recipe with you, and I will do more of those in the future. Let me know what you think, if you like it, if you want more of that, if you have other suggestions for other days, just let me know. And have a wonderful Friday and start to your weekend. So I will see you tomorrow. Bye.